And we are back. Mike.
Yeah, we're back with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining, and we apologize for the technical difficulties as the College of Staten Island leading in this game by a score of 24-17, and it's been Frankie Schettino with 2 3-pointers in between a Jake Brown layup that opened up a 18-15 CSI lead to 24-17. So they lead by 7 now with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the Panthers in control of the basketball as Daly working the ball up over to Sainamore. He drives down the lane and will draw the foul.
And there was a long period of time there before the first three-pointer by Schettino where the Dolphins hadn't scored in over 3 minutes. So that was a much-needed three, and they get back-to-back threes as a result in 2 possessions. See what Say No More does here on the free-throw line.
As his first free throw is up and in, and that will make it a 24-18 game. Mike, both teams struggling from the field. Dolphins 10 of 28 from the field, 2 of 8 from the three-point line. As Say No More hits the second free throw, Middlebury 7 of 22, yet to hit a three-pointer tonight, Mike, 0 of 8.
Yeah, 0 of 8, and Say No More 0 for 5 from downtown as well, so that's huge. And they've had some open threes, and they've just missed them, and the Dolphins either getting rebounds. There was 1 3-point attempt that resulted in a travel violation that we saw against Middlebury, so they have not taken advantage of any opportunities.
As Schettino puts up the third three-pointer, that's no good, but Baum grabs the rebound, but his pass is going to be stolen away, and here comes Daly with the basketball for the Panthers. Daly working it over to Brown. He feeds it back. The open three-pointer taken that time is going to be up and no good by Folger to go out of bounds. So to remain Dolphin basketball with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And, Mike, the Dolphins holding on to a 24-19 lead. And, you know, it's been a game, Mike, that the Dolphins have been in front really throughout the entire first half. They've never trailed in this one here tonight.
And a lot of it has to do with the inside presence of their 2 big guys, Baum and Murphy. Both of them are still on the floor. And, you know, Murphy getting off to that fast start. We had 9 points within the first 10 minutes of the ball game. He's gone a little bit cold since, but he's the guy that's led the way here for the Dolphins. Schettino's picked it up right now in the last couple of minutes. Dolphins have done a nice job defensively as well here against this Middlebury team. Very impressed with the way they've played defensively.
And the Dolphins 7-0, leading on second chance points here this afternoon as they turn the ball over. Once again, that's going to be their 9th turnover. Middlebury's turned the ball over 10 times, Mike, and we mentioned in yesterday's game, Middlebury finished with 14 turnovers on the day. Staten Island finished with 13. So both those teams turning the ball over much more here tonight.
And both teams on their way to around 20 turnovers by the end of this game tonight.
As Say No More puts up the three-pointer, it's no good, and Schettino grabs the rebound. Is Middlebury now 0 of 9 from the three-point line as Schettino pulls up for the jumper at the top of the key, and it's good. And the Dolphins have their biggest lead of the game. It's 7 points.
And he talked coming in about how Schettino was going to have a big game, not just a big half, but a big game overall.
Big move that time by Daly. He decided to go right inside, post up and lay it in. It's a 5-point game as Schettino comes right back. His layup is up no good, and it's going to be McCord there to grab the rebound for the Panthers. Brown working the ball up in the corner, and the long three-pointer that time by Daly is good. So Daly scores 5 points in a row to turn around a 7-point Dolphin lead. Knock it down to 2 inside of 1 minute remaining here in the first half.
And they've been waiting all day for that three-pointer, and they had 10 shots before that one that they had missed on, and finally getting one from Daly.
Big possession here for the Dolphins as they'll hand the ball off to Schettino, who'll set up offensively for the Dolphins with 7 to shoot. Schettino at the three-point line, crossover dribble, stops. His jumper's going to be short, and Middlebury with the basketball and an opportunity to take the last shot. Daly will bring the ball to Say No More, and he'll back the ball out to Daly as Middlebury will go for the last shot here with 7 seconds in the half. Brown stops, pull-up jumper is no good. Baumer's there to grab the rebound with a second remaining, and that shot, the buzzer is going to be good. I don't think so, Mike. I don't think there's any way that ball went in before the buzzer, as the official is going to
talk about it.
Go over and talk about it, and, again, that looked to me to be late from here. And for those of you who remember back in the CUNY Championship, and that'll be waved off. And I believe that's the appropriate call, Mike, But for those of you who remember back in the CUNY championships, Hunter College was actually able to defeat the Dolphins on a play where the shot went up after the buzzer. And now the shot is going to be ruled no good. So the Dolphins will go into halftime with a 26-24 lead, Mike. It's a game that they scored the first point to the game in, and they've never trailed. And they go into halftime leading by 2, despite the fact that Middlebury finishes the first half on a 5-0 run.
And, just to bounce off of that, for the most part in this game, CSI, as I said, had control of this game, but a late charge there by Middlebury, and CSI very fortunate that shot came after the buzzer, right at the buzzer, as they hold on to this 2-point lead. Very good competitive game. We expected that, and that is the case as they go into the locker room.
So we're at halftime here. Why don't we step aside, take a break? We'll be back, and we'll get you halftime statistics and get you ready for the start of the second half. The Dolphins leading at halftime against Middlebury by a score of 26-24. As you're watching Men's Tournament of Heroes Championship coverage exclusively on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up. Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island leads this game by 2 points, 26-24, and it was a game that the Dolphins led 24-17 as Frankie Schettino hit a three-point jumper, and then Middlebury was able to come back with 3 points of their own before Schettino got the last basket for the Dolphins to make it a 7-point lead. But then Middlebury finishes on a 5-0 run to make it a 2-point lead at halftime. And, you know, Mike, the Dolphins were held to just 2 points in the last 3 minutes and 13 seconds, and that allowed the Panthers to come back and make this a 2-point game.
Yeah, really an incredible finish to that first half. And we really have to talk about how to end it. There was a shot at the end of the half, three-point attempt that was no good, and it was right at the buzzer, very close to being in, but it was right at the buzzer, and it was waved off, no good. So the Dolphins held on to a 2-point lead going into the break, Mike, as they hold on 26-24. A couple of big three-pointers there in that first half by Frankie Schettino to help the Dolphins to this 2-point lead. He has 11 points, was 2 of 4 from a long distance, but the drought on three-point shooting by Middlebury continues. They are 1 for 11 from long distance and 0 for 6 from Matt Say No More. The only three-pointer they got was from Daly, and that cut it to a 2-point game a while back right before halftime. But the Dolphins, well, they control most of that first half, Mike, and they controlled a lot of it inside with Kevion Murphy's play. Middlebury just hung around and found a way to slowly chip away and cut this Dolphin lead to 2 points.
Yeah, and, you know, both teams struggled a little bit with their shooting, Mike. Middlebury, 9 of 27, that's 33%. Dolphins, 11 of 32, that's 34%. Middlebury, 1 of 11, as you mentioned, Mike, that's under 10%. Dolphins not much better, just 2 of 9. And from the free throw line, the Dolphins 2 of 5, while Middlebury is 5 of 6. The Dolphins doing a nice job on the glass, out rebounding Middlebury 22-15, including 6-2 in offensive rebounds, outscoring Middlebury in second chance points 7-0 as well, Mike. So a lot of good numbers for the Dolphins. A very low-scoring first half, Mike. 26-24 to score. Dolphins leading at halftime here as they look to win their second consecutive Tournament of Heroes championship and the third in the last 4 years after not being able to win one in their first 12 attempts.
And this would be a great win for CSI if they're able to get it. We talked about it in pregame, how they are on the precipice of starting to play Kuniak teams on a regular basis and how important the Kuniak wins are going to be to get them not just towards the championship in the conference, but also possible NCAA bid. But if they can finish this off, their own tournament at home, and get a win against a good non-conference opponent in Middlebury, that will really benefit the Dolphins moving forward for the rest of the season.
You know, Mike, it would be a great deal of momentum. You know, the Dolphins will play tonight, and then, you know, everybody will have their New Year's celebration, Mike, and, you know, then the Dolphins will be back in action on both the men's and the women's side next Wednesday night against Baruch College. And, you know, as we mentioned, Mike, once you get past January 1st, the game and the schedules really pick up. You know, the Dolphins just played a couple of games between the beginning of December and now. And now once we get past New Year's, the teams will start really playing 3 or 4 games every week. So we're running the clock down, and we're getting ready here for the start of the second half. The Dolphins leading in this game by a score of 26-24. Really anybody's contest, Mike, heading into the second half.
Anybody's contest. You have to, for Middlebury, you have to like the way they closed out that first half. They cut the Dolphins' lead to just 2. Had a chance to take the lead before the 3-point was waved off at the end of the first half. So for Middlebury, after trailing for much of the game, they got to feel pretty good about themselves as they come out of the locker room. For Staten Island, they feel very good about themselves, the way they played defensively in that first half. I'm really interested to see which form of momentum really carries forward as we begin the second half. Remember yesterday, Middlebury used the momentum they had at the end of the first half against Illinois Wesleyan to carry them for the rest of the game. Can the Dolphins stop that momentum from Middlebury and take control of the second half themselves?
Yeah, and Chatino and Murphy shooting a combined 8 of 20 for the Dolphins. The remainder of the team just 3 of 12, Mike, as we get ready to start the second half. And Chatino brings the ball across the midcourt line as the Dolphins have the first possession here in the second half. Bracic feeding the ball over to Baum, now back out over to Bracic. Bracic trying to drive his way inside. His banker off the glass is up, no good. A nice job by Baum to go up high for the rebound. Rossiter, short jumper in the lane is good. So Rossiter picking up his first points of the game. He's now 1 of 4 from the field, and the Dolphins lead by 4. Majors getting the ball up over to Daly. Daly over to Say No More. Now it's going to be fed across up over to Brown. As a nice job by Middlebury. They tried to work the ball inside, but the shot is going to be up no good, and the Dolphins control the basketball as Baum's shot is going to be knocked away. And here comes Middlebury looking to run. Brown pulling up for the long three-pointer, and it's good.
Middlebury, which was so cold in that first half and shooting threes, they're starting to get hot with those threes. Good start for them to open up the second half.
Yeah, so Brown hits his first 3, and it's a 1-point Dolphin lead. As Baum looking to drive his way inside, he'll dribble it out of bounds, and it looked like Baum might have dribbled that off his leg, but instead it'll remain Dolphin basketball with 17 seconds on the shot clock.
It may have touched Major's fingertips at the last second, but I agree with you, it was pretty close. Being a turnover for the Dolphins.
Bracic over to Rossiter. Rossiter looking to feed the ball inside to Murphy. Now it's back up over to Bracic. His long three-pointer is up, no good.
Big rebound by Chatino.
Bracic now 0 for 5 from the field, including 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Say No More. Working it up over to Brown. Brown working his way inside. His shot is up, no good. Nice play by the Dolphins to grab the rebound and feed it to Chatino. Chatino ahead to Baum, who lays it up and in. Nice bounce pass by Chatino to give the Dolphins a 3-point lead as Say No More drives down the lane, and boy, looked like he might have taken an extra step there, but instead hits the basket and draws the foul.
And a chance for a 3-point play to try to tie this game up at 30.
And that'll be the first tie since the opening tip at 0. If Say No More can hit the free throw, he's 3 of 3 from the line. He hits the free throw, and he now has 12. He led the Panthers in scoring yesterday, and he's their leading scorer so far here tonight. So it's a brand new game, 30-30, under 18 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Say No More also 4 for 4 from the free-throw line. Most consistent shooter from the free-throw line so far today between both teams.
Chatino with the basketball. Chatino dribbling out behind the three-point line, looks to fight his way inside. He loses possession as the Dolphins turn the ball over again. As the ball goes ahead to Brown, he lays it up and in, and the Panthers lead for the first time tonight, 32-30.
I know you never want to call a timeout too early in the first half, but I think for the Dolphins they have to consider it and just kind of try to regroup here. That is going to be a foul, though, on Daly. That's a big foul right now for Middlebury, as this is third.
Yeah, and, Dolphins still with 5 timeouts left here in the second half, but Coach Petosa feels his team is still playing well enough that he'll allow them to continue as they inbound the ball, and Chatino will bring the ball across the midcourt line. Dolphins struggling to score here over the last 7 minutes as Rossiter's jumper is up no good as the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it will remain Dolphin basketball.
And there have been a lot of stretches in this game, first half and now here into the second half, where the Dolphins have gone a little bit cold.
Yeah, the Dolphins with just a couple of baskets here over the last 6 or 7 minutes of play, and it's allowed Middlebury to come back and take the lead for the first time here tonight. Baum feeding it up over to Murphy. Murphy trying to bounce his way inside. His shot is up, no good. Baum goes, but it's going to be offensive goal. It looks like, Dave, we appear to have lost our audio here, Mike. Video, I should say, but our audio is working as Middlebury was able to come back, Mike, and take a 34-32 lead as Adisa Majors was able to hit his layup. But since then, the Dolphins have gone on a 7-0 run here in the last minute and 21 seconds. Kevon Murphy just hitting the layup off of the Frankie Scittino assist after Khalid Baum was able to hit a layup and a free throw for a three-point play. And, a nice job by the Dolphins, Mike. They fell behind for the first time here tonight. They never panicked, and they've opened their lead back up to 5.
Yeah, really nice. Really nice job by the Dolphins to show some intestinal fortitude. Come back after the nice little run there by Middlebury as they had a brief lead. But again, it's Baum as well as Murphy playing a big role in the Dolphins' run, as both of them contributed on this run to get the Dolphins back in front by 5.
Yeah, and we're struggling with our internet connection here, and we apologize for the intermittent video and transmission, and we appreciate you sticking with us as the Dolphins lead by 5 now, 14 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the first half.
And Say No More puts it up and in for a layup. Jump shot. He has 14 points now, Mike. 39-36.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be audio only here for the rest of the night, Mike, unless we are able to get our picture back up, which we'll continue to work to do here as we're broadcasting here. Is Scittino feeding the ball inside to Rossiter. Rossiter loses possession. His layup is up, no good, but a nice play by Murphy to put the ball back in. And, Murphy now starting to get hot again here in the second half, and the Dolphins lead by 5 once again.
Murphy with 15, Scittino with 13, Baum with 7. Those are the leaders right now on the floor for the Dolphins.
Brown with the basketball. Brown looking to post his way in against the smaller DeCunto, but instead he's going to draw the offensive foul, and off the turnover, it will be Dolphins' possession of the basketball with a 5-point lead once again.
And really, both teams have shot much better in this second half so far. The Middlebury is 5 out of 7. Dolphins 7 out of 12.
And Brown will pick up his third foul as the Dolphins will bring the ball across the midcourt line. As it's Scittino. Scittino, a beautiful crossover move. He looked to whip the ball inside to Murphy, but he can't hold on to the hard pass. It will go out of bounds, and it will be Middlebury ball off the Dolphin turnover. That's going to be their 4th turnover here in the second half. Jones with the basketball. Jones feeding the ball out over to Brown now. Brown out behind the three-point line looking to work against DeCunto. Now feeds it over to Brown. Brown now over to Folger as Middlebury working the ball around the three-point line. Say No More pulls up and buries the three. Another big three-pointer by Matt Say No More.
He is just on fire right now in this game. He has turned things around totally from where he was in the first half. That's 2 3-pointers he has hit in this game, both in the second half.
17 points, 8 in the second half as Scittino tried to draw the foul. He was unsuccessful, but Baum did a nice job maintaining possession for the Dolphins as they have 10 seconds to shoot. And now Jones is going to pick up the foul out on the floor for the Panthers. That will be the 4th team foul for the Panthers, the first on Jones. So the Dolphins will inbound with a fresh 30-second shot clock, exactly 13 minutes remaining in the second half, and the Dolphins holding on to a 4-point lead.
And with the 3-point capability of this Middlebury team, you can see how important each possession is going to be for the Dolphins, not just now with 12:51 to go, but for the rest of this game. They have to make sure they take advantage of every opportunity they get offensively.
Rossiter trying to drive his way inside. His shot's going to be knocked away as Rossiter now just 1 of 6 from the field here tonight for the Dolphins. Say No More getting the ball up over to Brown. Brown's wild three-pointer is good, and Middlebury has regained the lead now, 42-41. 6-0 run for Middlebury to re-give them the lead, and Coach Tony Petosa has seen enough, so it's going to be a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout, and, Mike, we've been off the air enough tonight.
Yes, we haven't.
So let's stay right here. Dolphins now trail 42-41, and it looks like it's going to be a good back and forth here in the second half.
It is, and this is a good three-point shooting team here for Middlebury. Jake Brown burying the three-pointer to give Middlebury a one-point lead at 42-41. We knew coming into this game how good these shooters are for Middlebury and for CSI. They have gone into another cold spell. It seems like that's been consistent throughout this game where they would get hot a little bit. They would get it mostly from Baum and from Murphy, as they did in that run here at the early part of this quarter, but have gone into a bit of a cold spell again, really an 11-2 run by Middlebury to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and, the Dolphins have been playing well, Mike, but, again, they've been turning the ball over a little bit too much here in the second half, and you knew that ice-cold shooting from Middlebury from the three-point line really wasn't going to continue all night long, Mike. And, now Middlebury hitting 2 consecutive three-point shots back-to-back, and, it's the problem for the Dolphins is they're struggling a little bit. One basket. Half minutes with just the basket, so they need a good offensive set here, trailing by 1, 42-41.
The one positive we have here as they do inbound is that the Dolphins have rebounded much better than Middlebury has. They've out-rebounded them 29-17 so far in this game.
Shatino, beautiful crossover dribble. He drives the ball to the basket, misses the layup, but draws the foul. That's going to be on Eric McCord. That'll be McCord's first, team's 5th. Shatino will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Shatino at the free throw line tonight, just 1 of 3. 1 of 4.
And, we talked about it yesterday, the struggles he has.
In this Middlebury offense, Mike, here in the second half, this is a team that scored 24 points in the first half. Here in the second half with 11 minutes and 14 seconds remaining, they've already scored 23.
Unbelievable run by them.
Yeah, again, Middlebury shot 1 of 11 from the three-point line in the first half. You knew that wasn't going to continue, and they come out here in the second half, and they've already hit 4 of 5 from the three-point line, 9 of 12 from the field. So they are really red hot from the field, red hot from the three-point line, and the Dolphins need to get on track offensively and need to get on track immediately.
CSI.
Two of 9 here as they're struggling a little bit with their shooting, and they now trail by 5, and Middlebury threatening to get on track offensively. Is that time Folger clearly got away with the travel and laid it up and in, and it's now a 7-point Middlebury lead.
I don't know how he got away with that one, but he did. Went right through Baum and able to put it up for the layup to make it a 7-point game.
As Middlebury continuing to warm up from the floor, the Dolphins continuing to be ice cold as Spencer's shot's going to be knocked away by Folger. And the Dolphins' offensive woes continue, and now the wide-open three-pointer is no good. But McCord goes up among 3 Dolphins to grab the rebound. He feeds it up to Say No More, who just lays it up and in, Mike. And that time Dolphins played no defense at all.
No defense at all. And they had played defense all day against McCord. McCord was frustrated most of the day. But you can't allow a guy who has been frustrated all day have an opportunity to get a rebound like that with 3 guys around him.
The jumper from the corner is going to be up, no good. Dolphins struggles continue, but they're able to get the turnover, feed it up over to DeCunto. His three-pointer is no good, but Bauman's there to grab the rebound. His putback is no good, but he'll draw the foul as the Dolphins have just gone ice cold, Mike, here in the second half.
Yeah, they have 7 out of 20 from the floor, 0 for 3 from downtown, only hitting at 34% compared to Middlebury, who's now hitting at 47% and 11 out of 15 in the second half. Dolphins need a bucket. I know they're going to get free throws here, but they need a jump shot, something that gives them a shot in the arm.
Yeah, they just have really nothing going here offensively, no flow at all. And, Mike, it's something that we've seen this year so far from the CSI Dolphin team. You look at them at times and, the offense looks like it's playing pretty well. But, even tonight they just finished the first half with only 26 points and only 17 so far here in the second half. And, it's really tough to play against good teams when you have these long droughts offensively. And the Dolphins have been prone to it this year. And, this is another game, Mike, that they went into halftime with a lead, and now they find themselves trailing in the second half by 7 as they look to work their way back in the game. As
nice
that
rejection.
Shot is going to be knocked away beautifully by Baum, and here comes Schettino with the basketball for the Dolphins. Schettino's going to be knocked down from behind. He'll draw the foul. That'll be the 7th foul on Middlebury, and that'll send Schettino to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And the only problem with that, Mike, is that Frankie struggled from the free throw line here this year, just 2 of 5 from the line here tonight.
This is a must for Frank Schettino. He's got to bank it in. And he does.
And he cuts the Middlebury lead down to 6 as the Dolphins try to work their way back. They've led in the game most of the way. There have been 4 ties all in the second half and 3 lead changes all in the second half as Schettino does a nice job to cut the deficit down to 5 as Brown brings the ball up across the midcourt line quickly and looks to set up against DeCunto.
And mini 4-0 run for the Dolphins there. At one point it was 15-3 and a run by Middlebury in this game.
Brown getting the ball up over to Jones. He has the ball stolen away by Brocic. Brocic drives his way down the lane and lays it up and in. And
that's what they needed there, Mike. They needed a steal. They needed a bucket.
Big point off the turnover there for the Dolphins. They've now had 16 points off of Panther turnovers, and they've cut the deficit down to 3, 51-48, with 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second half.
It doesn't take much to get your team to start believing again, and that's the kind of play they needed.
Folger with the basketball. Folger's had a good second half here as his shot's going to be up no good, but a nice rebound by Daly to give the Panthers another possession. He works it in the corner.
Wow.
The long three-pointer by Jones is good. 5 3-pointers for Middlebury here in the second half out of 7 attempts. Schettino driving down the lane and draws the foul.
Brian Jones only plays about 13 minutes a game for this team, and he had not connected on a single shot at all today. And in a big spot with his team only up 3 points, he hits a big three-pointer.
Yeah, so now Schettino will go to the line to shoot 2. He hit his last 2 free throws, and free throws will be important down the stretch as the Dolphins look to battle their way back from a 6-point deficit as Schettino misses the first. Nice traveling crowd here from Middlebury as they came down from Vermont to enjoy this holiday season, and they've seen their Panthers already defeat the number 18th ranked team in the country in Illinois Wesleyan last night, and they're 7 minutes and 41 seconds away from winning their first Tournament of Heroes championship as Daly is able to drive right down the lane. His shot is up no good. And then we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on DeCunto out on the floor. That will only be the 3rd team foul for the Dolphins. So Middlebury will get to inbound the basketball now with 7 minutes and 31 seconds remaining here in the second half. Folger with the basketball. Folger gets the ball out to Mages. Mages now over to Brown. Brown over to Daly. And now Middlebury looking to run a little shot clock down. Say no more with the basketball. Has it stolen away by DeCunto. DeCunto looking to go one-on-one. The shot is up and in, and he draws the foul. Beautiful move that time by Vinny DeCunto as he took the ball hard to the basket. Brown was back there waiting for him, and he's going to pick up his 4th foul as DeCunto will go to the free throw line, looking to complete the three-point play and cut the Middlebury lead down to 2.
And there's a important bucket upcoming here for DeCunto on the free throw. Every possession, every shot that they get is going to be huge, and that's a big miss and no rebound there. Baum tried to go up and get it, but he got out-rebounded by Middlebury.
Yeah, so a miss there on the free throw. Dolphins now 7 of 10 from the line, and it remains a three-point game. Majors with the basketball. Majors kicking the ball in the corner. The long jumper is up, no good. Rebound controlled there by the Dolphins, and here comes Schettino with the basketball. Schettino, crossover dribble, pull-up jumper is up, no good. Big miss there by Schettino, and the rebound grabbed by Daly. Daly walking the ball up across the midcourt line. Brocic waiting to pick him up. Bounce pass over to Say No More. Say No More looking to use the Folger screen. He nearly loses possession. Baum ties up Folger. Now the ball's going to be stolen away by Schettino. Schettino looking to drive his way down Daly. A beautiful behind-the-back pass over to Kevon Murphy, who lays it up and in and brings the Dolphins back to within 1.
Huge point there for Murphy. It's been a while since he got involved, and foul called on this end. Looks like it'll be on Baum, but still a huge play there on the pass to Murphy for points. 1-point game. See what's going to happen here, though, as Middlebury's going to the free throw line with Daly.
Nice job by the Dolphins, Mike. They were just trailing by 9. They've worked their way back all the way down to 1, and now Daly will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Daly, the player that the Panthers like having the ball in his hands, Mike, as the game goes down the stretch, and you can see why as he hits the first free throw to give Middlebury a 2-point lead.
Daly is 67% free throw shooter.
And he hits them both, and that makes it a 56-55 game. Middlebury now 3 of 3 from the line here in the second half. Schettino with the basketball. Cross-court pass up over to Brocic. Brocic spitting his way inside. His off-balance jumper is up. No good. Brocic now 1 of 6 from the field here tonight. The ball spun inside by Daly. He lays it up and in once again.
He's clutch.
They put the ball in his hands, and, just a moment ago, Dolphins were trailing by 3 with an opportunity to cut into the lead, and just like that, they're down by 5 once again.
He's clutch, Mike. That's all you can say. He gets a big bucket when his team needs it the most. His team has a 1-point lead. He gets fouled and hits 2 free throws. His team gets a turnover. He gets a basket and then gets fouled.
So Daly going to the line, and he hits the free throw, and he's hit all of his free throws, as has Middlebury, 4 of 4 here in the second half. And just like that, Mike, the Dolphins are down by 6 once again. Schettino with the basketball. Schettino out at the three-point line, nearly loses it. Works the ball up over in the corner to DeCunto. His long three-pointer is up and no good. Dolphins now 0 of 5 from the three-point line here in the second half. Say No More. Gets the ball out over to Daly, where Rossiter looks to pick him up now with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Majors over to Say No More. His long three-pointer is good. So Middlebury matching their biggest lead of the game. It's 62-53 with 5 minutes remaining here in the second half.
6 three-pointers they've connected on here in the second half.
Schettino's three-pointer is up and no good, so Dolphins now 0 of 6 from the three-point line. Middlebury 6 of 9 from the three-point line, and that's been the difference here in the second half. Say No More with the basketball. Bounce pass goes inside now to Tarantino, and now they'll back it out to Daly. And Middlebury playing smart basketball, Mike. Once they open up the lead, they start to run shot clock. They feed it in the corner for a wide-open three-pointer, and that could do it, Mike, right there.
Joey Layton, who has not played much at all this year, hasn't played much at all in this tournament, may have just had the dagger right there, Mike. These guys, you got to give them credit. They have ice in their veins. They really do.
And here in the second half, they're 15 of 23 from the field, Mike. 7 of 10 from the three-point line. 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And, they've really fired on all cylinders offensively. And you compare it with the Dolphin numbers, Mike, 10 of 28 and 0 of 6 from the three-point line. and it doesn't take much to see how the Dolphins fall behind by 12 points. They allowed 24 points in the first half. They've already given up 41 points here in the second half, and that three-pointer, Mike, could have been the dagger.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, it's just been a dominant effort here by Middlebury. We saw it earlier today with Illinois Wesleyan, where they were dominating with three-pointers against Bridgewater, and we're seeing here in this game with Middlebury in the second half an really a virtuoso performance by them. Came back where they weren't shooting well at all in that first half, and they have been money here in the second half. The Dolphins have missed shots. They've taken a lot of shots that may have been rushed. They haven't been able to rebound the ball too well in the second half. Right now, being out-rebounding Middlebury by just one rebound here in the second half, 14-13. And not only that, but they've had a lot of points where they've gone very cold for a big portion of this game in the second half. We're in the middle of another big run by Middlebury, as it is a 11-0 run.
Yeah, Middlebury in an 11-0 run over the last couple of minutes, Mike. And, once again, it's a situation where, the Dolphins go into these droughts of minutes at a time where they're unable to score. And, if the other team starts to shoot the basketball well, the Dolphins really struggle as now Murphy puts up the jumper and gets it in. And Dolphins need that, and Mike, and they're going to need defensive stops here throughout the rest of the night.
They need stops, they need turnovers, and they need Middlebury to start missing some shots again.
Yeah, and, Daly's a smart player, Mike, and, you start doing the math here, and if they start holding the ball for 30 seconds at a time, they could really present problems. A nice play by DeCunto, but unable to come away with the basketballs. It's Daly looking to feed the ball inside as they whip the ball around quickly, and Say No More's three-pointer is up. No good. It'll go out of bounds. And 3:39 remaining. Dolphins trailing by 10, Mike. They still have an opportunity, but they need stops, and they need to play well offensively.
And there's still time in this game. 3 minutes, 39 seconds is a lot of time. And a 10-point lead in basketball it's not that much. I mean, look at the free throw percentage right now by Middlebury, 90% in this game. That's going to help out as well.
Yeah, Mike, and if you take Shattino and Murphy out of the lineup as they just get the basket right there, the remaining players on the team just 7 of 30, Mike, and that's just not enough support from the other players as the Dolphins trail by 8, and they need a defensive stop here as Middlebury will be content to run the shot clock down. Dolphins got to force a miss and try to maintain possession, but first we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and that's the worst of all worlds for the Dolphins there, Mike, because that's only going to be their 16th foul, so now all they really did was reset the shot clock for the Panthers.
And there's still one more foul away from being in the bonus and putting them in a line, but you're right, it's a new shot clock, a new opportunity for Middlebury not just to score, but to run clock off.
Yeah, they don't really need to score that many more points, Mike, as they take the open three-pointer, really doing the Dolphins a favor if the Dolphins could get the rebound, which they cannot.
And again, Middlebury can run clock.
Daly with the basketball. That was maybe their last opportunity, Mike, to grab that rebound with about 3 minutes left, down by 10. Instead, Middlebury getting a second chance at the basketball, and at the very least, they've already taken 25 seconds off the game clock. Daly working his way inside, draws the foul, a tough foul against Khalid Bound. That wasn't really much of a foul, but nonetheless, Daly will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And, Mike, you could take the numbers and you could look at who scored what, but the fact of the matter is that when Middlebury needed something done here in this tournament, it really has been Jack Daly and Matt Say No More as well. But, to me, if I'm looking at a tournament MVP in this tournament, you're certainly looking at either Daly or Say No More for the Panthers.
Say No More has had 45 points in 2 games. I guess it's easy to give it to him, but you're right. Either one could take the cake as far as the MVP of the tournament is concerned. And, when you look big picture, and I know we don't often get a chance to talk about, NCAAs and stuff like that, but Middlebury really has to be considered a big threat, down the stretch, a big picture in the NCAAs. I mean, they're about to win their 6th, get to 9-1. They're coming out of a good tough conference. This is a good team up there in Vermont.
Yeah, now Murphy's going to pick up his second foul. Murphy, a strong game for the Dolphins. He has 21 points so far. Shatino has 19 points, Mike. That's 30 of the 59 Dolphin points. And, as we mentioned before, Shatino and Murphy shooting 16 of 33 between them. The remainder of the Dolphins, 8 of 30. And, that's just not enough balanced scoring. It makes it very difficult as the second free throw by Majors is up no good. Dolphins still with an opportunity, but they need points. Shatino looking to work his way outside, but he's going to turn the ball over.
I don't think that might be it, Mike.
Yeah, that's the 7th turnover for the Dolphins here in the second half. They have 16 in the game, and it will be Panther basketball. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the game.
And what's so unfortunate is that for the Dolphins, this was a great opportunity. They had a lead at halftime. They actually had a bigger lead than they did before the half. But Middlebury closed within 2 and then just took off. Once they started nailing down their threes at the start of the second half, haven't looked back.
Yeah, and Mike, if the Dolphins drop this game, they'll even their record up at 6-6. And if I'm not mistaken, they had in their 6 losses, they led at halftime in at least 4 of those games. And, one of those games was that blowout against Wagner. So this is a Dolphin team that's a scrappy team. It plays hard, but they at times just struggle to score offensively. And, once again, they were able to play a good, low-scoring game here in the first half. Took a 2-point lead at halftime, 26-24. But Middlebury coming out exploding with 46 points so far here in the second half. The Dolphins putting up 33, so they've been a little bit more effective offensively than they were in the first half. But really not enough points, Mike, in the big picture to play against some of these better teams in the Division III conference.
And not to mention that, we talked about how the Dolphins have played very well at home. This will be their first loss at home this year. And they've been holding opponents to just 38% shooting on this floor in those 3 games, but Middlebury hitting at 46% overall in the game. Obviously, the second half has been the dominant point here for Middlebury, but they have shot extremely well as Middlebury against a good defensive team here in the Dolphins. And now for the Dolphins, it's all about conference play as we'll begin that on the 4th of January with Baruch College coming in here to the Sports and Recreation Center.
Yeah, and Brocic had a tough game today for the Dolphins, Mike. 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three-point line. And, he had a couple of big looks at three-pointers that really could have helped turn the game a little bit, but just couldn't convert as we're going to have a shot clock violation. I believe, Mike, the first shot clock violation of the evening, as the Panthers will turn the ball over to the Dolphins with just 46 seconds remaining here in the game. Shatino driving his way inside. His layup is up no good as the ball comes out to Brocic. He kicks it in the corner to Rossiter. His three-pointer is up no good. And, Rossiter, another player, Mike, very quiet tonight. 1 of 8 from the field. So between Brocic and Rossiter, 2 of 16 from the field, including 0 of 7 from the three-point line. And, you need more points out of your scoring guards than that.
Also, quiet day for Khalid Baum, who only had 9 points, was very, very quiet in the second half. And we talked about him being a big impact player for this game. He was in the first half, not so much in the second half, as CSI is 11.9 away from their 6th loss of the year.
Yeah, so, Mike, the Dolphins are going to split their Tournament of Heroes championship here today. They'll go 1-1. They'll go 6-6 as they really finish the 2016 portion of their schedule. And then, we're going to come back, as you mentioned, next Wednesday night. It'll be a home conference game against Baruch. Big games for both the men and the women. Both the men and the women 4-0 in the CUNYAC Conference. And then for the men's team, 12 of their final 13 games, all conference games. As we mentioned, they will begin on January 4th against Baruch. And, the path for the CSI Dolphins to the NCAA tournament, there's one path, and that path is the CUNYAC Championship. And the road to that path will begin on Wednesday night. But first, Middlebury Panthers come in and win the 2016 Tournament of Heroes Championship as they come back from a 2-point deficit at halftime to defeat the College of Staten Island by a final score of 70-59.
A tremendous effort by Middlebury. They got a great basketball team. Matt Say No More was tremendous in this game. He had 22 points. He had 45 points in 2 days. Jack Daly had the winner last night. and of course he had 12 points as well tonight. 8 out of 24 shooting from downtown for Middlebury. That was the difference, especially in the second half where they had 7 out of 13, 45% for the game. Dolphins, just as you said, Mike, not enough offense today, 34% from the field. And outside of Murphy and Schettino, not much else from the supporting cast to get the job done as the Dolphins end up splitting this Tournament of Heroes. My New Year's resolution for the Dolphins is this, Mike, find some offense and start kicking tail in the conference.
Well, I have a Sportsnet resolution for us, Mike, and that's to figure out what was going on tonight and make sure it doesn't happen again for the remainder of the season because, you know, we missed some good basketball here tonight, and that's certainly something that we don't want to do. So, you know, I'm sure that we'll take a look at what happened and try to really prevent this from happening this Wednesday night as the College of Staten Island will face Baruch College and, you know, really look to get back on the winning track. And, you know, the coaches had concerns about Middlebury here tonight, but, you know, you look at this Dolphin team here tonight, Mike, and they could just figure out a way to do a little bit better offensively. You know, this is a team that certainly could do damage here in the CUNYAC Conference.
They really could, and again, starts against Baruch. The only game that is non-conference is a game at Kane University on the 16th of January on Martin Luther King Day. Other than that, it's all in-conference games. And as you said, the road to the NCAA tournament is going to have to begin and end with what they do in conference. And we'll see how they do. Baruch is a good team. They're also 3-0 in conference, so that's a very good battle to start it off.
So that's going to wrap things up here from the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. Middlebury wins the 15th Annual Tournament of Heroes Championship as they defeat the College of Staten Island by a final score of 70-59 behind 22 points from Matt Say No More and 12 points from Jack Daly, as the Dolphins will even their record at 6-6 and will get ready for a doubleheader here against Baruch College at the Sports and Recreation Center Wednesday, January 4th. We'll have doubleheader coverage for you, beginning with the pregame show at 5:15 and the opening tip at 5:30. So, for Michael Cohn and Meshach Alexander, this is Mike Babusky saying so long and thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us next Wednesday night as we will get underway with the 2017 portion of CSI men's and women's basketball. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll see you next year.